Is it you, Dr. Verman, the founding DG of this organization?
Yes, it's me. And I cannot tell you how curious I am to know how the organization has evolved over the years.
It's a long story, Dr. Verman. And who can be happier than the BIS family to share some of the interesting aspects of this evolution with the man who started it all.
BIS grew and had a bigger role to achieve. To be reckoned as one of the best in the world, as a standard maker and not a standard taker in the realm of international standardization.
हमें कोशिश करनी है अब इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड बनने की। इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड बनेंगे तब हमारी हर चीज को सहजता से मोहर लग जाएगी और ये हमारे प्रोडक्शन की क्वालिटी पर निर्भर करेगा, हमारी सेवा की क्वालिटी पर निर्भर करेगा, हमारे अप्रोच की क्वालिटी पर निर्भर करेगा और इसलिए हमें क्वालिटी पर बल देकर के आगे बढ़ना है।
How to do this? The answers were obvious. Broaden the base of stakeholder participation, ensure greater ownership of Indian standards, government departments, regulatory bodies, industry, academia, R&D organizations, consumer groups, each of the stakeholders should have the realization that the standards belong to them. They've made them and they need to see them implemented. Technical committees need to be capable, efficient and efficacious. A slew of process reforms were undertaken. Search committees and the division councils to rope in the domain area experts, removal of inactive members, annual calendar for TC meetings, increase in the frequency of meetings, institutionalization of action research, restructuring of working panels and working groups, onboarding session for the newly inducted members, mandatory one-day face-to-face training of the committee members in a year, and automation of the committee management, to name a few. Impact is seen not only in the output of standards, but also in the range and quality of the standards made. The average attendance in the TC meetings rose from mere 30% to nearly 70% within a year.
Looks good. Getting the buy-in of thousands of TC members must have been challenging.
No less challenging was having the government departments play a proactive role in standard formulation. There was a great deal of skepticism when we decided to implement the idea of annual program on standardization to be submitted by the central government departments. It's a reality now. 57 departments of 44 ministries prepared and shared the annual program on standardization for 2024-25. Paving the way for greater synergy between the government regulators and the national standards body.
Great. This will also lead greater acceptance of standards.
R&D for standard formulation. There were no two options on the issue. But how to have it going? We did it. In a span of less than a year, our sectional committees could commission 172 R&D projects related to standards under development, and many more in the pipeline. New horizons are bound to open up as we go along.
Amazing. What's the institutional mechanism put in place for this to happen?
Chairs on standardization were established in the premier institutions of technical education, and MOUs were signed with them, not only for the participation of the faculty and the research scholars in the R&D projects, but also for promoting the education in the national standards and creating a larger human resource pool for the technical committees. It wasn't easy. So many reservations about its feasibility. Not BIS, but MOE has to spearhead it. Unless UGC and AICTE mandate it, institutions wouldn't be coming forward. There are already so many MOUs to be taken care of by them. Faculty have so much work to do. Students have to see value in it. Paralyze resistance with persistence. We lived the dictum. Approached all the authorities concerned, continued the dialogue with the institutions, worked on the support institutions would need, explored ways to put effective channels of communication in place. And lo behold, the dawn of the realization of the dream has arrived. IIT Roorkee decides to establish the chair of standardization on the 18th of January 2023, and we had 17 of our premier institutions, IITs in Madras, Kanpur, Bombay, BHU, Patna, Guwahati, following the suit. And 75 others have entered into MOU by now. And when we organized the discipline-wise annual convention of the deans and HODs of these institutions, let's hear what they had to say.
This is a wonderful initiative. So I can't recall when did HODs of a particular discipline of so many engineering colleges come together to discuss standards and curriculum.
We now realized how we can contribute to the standardization ecosystem by taking up R&D projects.
I am in full agreement that association with technical committees of BIS is an opportunity for professional development of faculty.
Increasing our international footprint has witnessed equally energetic process reforms. Categorization of the ISO IEC projects in accordance with their level of interest, designating experts against each of the projects of the high and medium levels of interest, facilitating seamless sharing of draft standards and comments thereon through the IRD portal, mandatory briefing and debriefing sessions in respect of every meeting at the ISO IEC level. India is beginning to be looked at as a serious player.
This is very enheartening to hear. We need more and more international standards made by us.
There has to be the demand for quality, for good standards to come up. There was consensus that students can act as the ambassadors of quality. We decided to establish standards clubs in schools and colleges. But again, the road ahead was not without challenges. There are already so many clubs in schools, many of them dysfunctional. There are so many authorities to approach, institutions will see it as additional work. BIS does not have the required workforce. Each of them needed to be addressed. Each of them were addressed.
BIS गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ਦੀ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਹੈ
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ क्वालिटी ਦੇ ਲਈ काम कर रही है।
क्वालिटी गुणवत्ता पर चीजों को खरीदने की सलाह देता है। कौन देता है? BIS।
The first Standards Club was established in the year 2022, and we have more than 10,000 of them with more than 3 lakh students associated with them by now. And if the number is not doubled by now, it is because of the conscious decision to focus on consolidating the gains before further expansion.
An unbelievable feat. Please go on.
With initiatives like training of mentors, creation of standards-based lesson plans under the Learning Science via Standards Initiative, comic books based on standards, exposure visits to factories, labs, etc., and online and offline competitions, the standards clubs are evolving as vibrant centers of discourse on quality and standards. It's a sheer delight to watch the students celebrate standards.
It has to be. I wish I could be a part of such a celebration.
Transparency in relations is the hallmark of authentic leadership. A few words about how Manak Samvad and Manak Manthan are strengthening the perception of BIS as an authentic organization.
A very warm welcome to all to this first Manak Samvad program of BIS Bengaluru. What is Manak Samvad?
Manak Samvad is the meeting of the industrial units after they have obtained a BIS license. Our branch officers not only welcome the new entrants but share all the necessary information with them regarding the operation and management of the license, to give them the confidence that we are co-travelers on the road to quality. Manak Manthan, the monthly meeting at the branch offices, provides the platform to the local entrepreneurs, trade and industry bodies and users to share their ideas and thoughts on draft or published standards. All these inputs are conveyed to the technical committees. There were misgivings if there would be any takers for this platform. We have organized 791 Manak Manthan so far since the launch of this initiative in August 2022, and it is now an integral part of our standardization ecosystem.
I see it contributing hugely to the demand for standards in future.
There are more than 700 districts and 2 lakh Gram Panchayats in the country. Should an organization with not more than 200 scientific officers scattered over 35 locations even dream of organizing face-to-face interaction with them? We dared to dream and made it a reality.
सभी सरपंच ग्राम पंचायत के अधिकारियों से ये अनुरोध करता हूं कि वो अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में जो भी सामान खरीदते हैं या जो भी प्रोडक्ट का उपयोग करते हैं वो इंश्योर करें कि उसमें IS कोड हो, अवश्य हो, और साथ ही साथ ग्राम पंचायत लेवल पर एक पुस्तिका भी दी जा रही है BIS की तरफ से, जिसमें जितने भी प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं उनमें क्या क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड होता है जो भारत सरकार की तरफ से सेट किया गया है, उसको जरूर देखें.
Face-to-face sensitization programs for the district heads of departments were organized in 667 districts so far, and presidents and secretaries of about 1.90 lakhs GPs trained on standards relevant to their functioning. We ourselves found it hard to believe when the government of Rajasthan supported our proposal of quality pledge by all the members of the Gram Panchayats in the state.
इसी BIS के द्वारा जो लोगों द्वारा जो हमें जानकारी दी गई, इसी जानकारी के आधार पर हम लोगों को जागरूक करेंगे. और हमारे गांव में सबसे अच्छी तो बात यह रही कि हमें ये भी मालूम नहीं था कि हम गांव में क्या करें क्या ना करें. आज जानकारी मिलने से हम भी अपने गांव के विकास कार्यों में इन चीज़ों का प्रयोग करेंगे. IS जो मार्ग उन्होंने हमें बताया, सोने पे जो हमें बताया सोना गहने खरीदने का, सरिया का, सीमेंट का, तो हम इनको यूज करेंगे. हम BIS के लोगों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं.
Oh my God! It will take some time for me to absorb all this. BIS conducting training for Gram Panchayat.
How can we not mention the BIS Care app on this occasion? The BIS Care app is a powerful tool for consumer empowerment with features for the verification of the authenticity of licenses, HUID on the gold jewelry, etc. And it has become useful even for those interested in standards and certification schemes. You will be glad to know that more than 80 lakh people have downloaded the BIS Care app. And we are hopeful this number will go up exponentially in the near future.
Doesn't it sound like the audacity of optimism?
Doubtless, dear. Audacity of optimism and celebration of self-belief. Thanks for giving me so much happiness.
I wish the entire BIS family more power to the elbow.